All right, we're coming to you live from the edge of American credibility here, where truth is optional, jobs are vibes, and reality is refreshed every 5 minutes. All right, we're coming to you live from the edge of America.
That was wonderful. That was a great intro. I appreciate it.
Captured it.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Now
We're going to give you guys the fakest fake news now in the newsiest news you love to hate.
dude, there's no way to even get faker news than the news that we have these days. So it's just I've been watching, have you been watching the Texas weather
I
misreports?
I did catch some of that yesterday. It was crazy.
Breathtaking. They're attacking. So it's like they're angry at science. First off, I broke it down. I want to give you my three. Okay, we got they control the weather. So
Oh, we
so
control the
that's
weather.
Marjorie Taylor Greene. So I don't know they. I guess she means Jewish people, but she
She
didn't
means
say
Jews.
it. Yeah.
Usually, when they say they
Hey.
mean Jews.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
usually they mean Jews. So just saying they, but everyone in the comments was like, "Are you saying if they control the weather, then like isn't the government controlling the weather?" Is who people think. So they're like, "Well, that's Trump doing this." But no, it's just they. So I think you're right. I think she actually means Jews. But so that, and then we have
Oh, jeez.
um we
Oh,
hey John, we hey John. Then we have that they cut the FEMA and National Weather Service, and that's why this happened, which isn't true because there actually were warnings. So despite the
they
fact
were.
they did warn, so that was good, and there were definitely warnings. So then instead of saying, well, you when you say there's a flash flood emergency, move to high ground, and people don't move to high ground, who do you blame? When you don't want to blame the Christian camp that's swept away, you blame the media because and science because science will say that there's going to be
Which
a
is virtually blaming Jews.
right? So they say that when it doesn't come, when they say there's going to be rain coming, but it doesn't actually is not as bad as it's predicted, then that just leads to crying wolf. So that's all the media's fault and science's fault for not being able to completely
100%.
accurately. So the answer in this instance is to defund it further.
I know, irony, right?
I don't know how I don't know how I don't
There is no way to follow that logic.
No, there's
There
none of
isn't.
the logic check, none of it goes anywhere. I go back to the okay, so then I guess the Jews are doing it. Like that's the only thing you can come like there's nothing else like at least that doesn't contradict itself, you know? At least that's a straight narrative that I can follow. So
If
Corey,
you
stop
believe,
it. Corey, stop it.
if you're out there and you believe that, you should just like, I don't know what to do. Like, what makes you think that we don't want like perfect fucking weather
I
all the
know.
fucking time?
I know. What's wrong with Jewish people that you just like are like, you know what? It's time for a hurricane. Like, why? Why would you do that? Give us lovely weather all the time. And why?
Well, to be fair, hurricanes are useful for drinking, surfing, and getting rid of that ugly tree that you didn't want in your backyard.
There you go.
Sweeping up the dirty trailer homes you don't love so
Oh, and don't
much,
forget the
maybe.
Doppler.
I don't like that idea because I like my trailer trash.
I love a trailer. I lived in a trailer for like 10 years. Love a trailer. Don't get me started. It was a double wide though. I can be kind of snotty about this is my own property. No.
Oh,
My own shitty
double
land.
wide.
But yeah, I love a trailer. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know, guys.
Oh, and don't forget the Doppler story.
There's no oh yeah, the Doppler story. They see there's the conspiracy theories. There's pictures of Doppler and they're saying they're weather manipulators.
The Doppler, the Doppler radar,
Yes.
They look like golf balls. And I'm sorry, but like everybody in a hurricane area, because I lived in rural Georgia, and I remember I was like, what the hell is that thing? Because I'd never seen it before. And everybody knew from like the whole guy at like the feed store to the cashier and at the bells, they always knew that's the Doppler. That's the Doppler. That's
yeah.
hurricanes and tornadoes. That's the Doppler. So I don't know why all of a sudden on conspiracy theories are showing pictures of Doppler saying weather manipulator spotted off the coast of South Carolina. Like, what are they talking about? Who is this for? So help me out. Help me understand this, Corey, please.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
It's you can't with a functioning brain.
John, does
It
John
does.
know? Can John help
It-
us understand?
John,
understand
activate that autistic brain of yours.
Yes. Help us
And
break
help
this
me
down.
connect this reality here.
There's no possible way that is possible.
I can't hear him.
There's
He
no
said-
possible way that's true.
He said there's no possible way that's true. I agree. I agree. We could try the AI bot, but I'm pretty sure they'll tell us the same thing.
Yeah.
Tell us what's not true. What's the non-truth that he's identified?
The Jews are controlling the weather through Doppler
Oh,
radar.
you guys can't control the weather, really?
We
What
do
kind of
have
weather-
space. We do have space lasers.
Drop the humidity.
Well,
a little
sort
Yeah,
of.
could you drop the
We have
humidity a
lasers,
little?
but
Yeah, like, this is good for my hair. What you guys can do about this humidity, please?
oh boy.
So yeah, so that was my thing. That's my tirade. Please enjoy. Anybody would like to take the mic to tirade, please?
Yeah. You think you're at the bottom of stupid, and there's always you can go down farther. Apparently.
It's true, very true.
Yeah. So what else are people lying about these days? There's got to be, well, the Texas thing is the most obvious. Oh, the Social Security saying that they really, what a great, wonderful thing our leader, our Congress did.
No more tax on Social
Yeah, no more
Security.
tax. At least
Indeed.
for the midterms. Yes. So, enjoy it while you can.
Apparently I heard they like stripped out like half of the good stuff, the actual good stuff that would have been in it. Like there was supposed to be originally like a boost in the child tax credit,
Mhm.
gone.
Oh, really? Oof.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's a
That's
real
fun.
day.
I didn't hear.
Anyways, how are you doing, buddy?
Good.
Good. What brought you down to Dadland?
To Dadland.
Thinking about what? Oh yeah.
Mm.
So apparently the S&P is up like 26%.
I don't know what that
since,
means.
The S&P 500, it's one of the major stock markets.
So that's good.
It is until you remember that you got to pay $8.75 for like a bagel.
What? Why does it make things more expensive?
Inflation.
Oh, but that's why the stock market's going up is inflation.
Yeah, largely.
Oh, that's nice.
No.
I feel like it's not the economy's not strong. We're just being gaslighted on all of it.
Sure.
It's like I don't know. I don't own any stock, so at least not in the traditional sense. I own it emotionally. As in, I hope one day I'll not be poor enough to actually be able to buy a stock.
Well, you probably have 401k, right?
I don't even have that.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, that's stock. That's the only stock I know of is that kind of stock. But yeah, and then of course I refuse. Well, we're talking about it, so it's a contradiction. But I refuse to care about Elon's America Party. I think they're just yanking our chain. It's all
stupid.
just kabuki theater.
Yeah.
They don't
Absolutely.
hate each other. They're just working. They're in cahoots. And
Yeah.
they're playing some game. I don't know what it is. It's some stupid game.
It's billionaire. It's billionaire. I don't know, spades. I don't fucking know.
Kabuki theater. It's a community theater, but they don't want to do community theater, so they just make this shit up.
No, they defunded all the community theaters.
Yep. So that's what it feels like to me. What are you doing on your phone? You're on it too long.
No, I'm just looking to see about the Social Security thing. I want to get some details on it.
Okay, well, what you got?
Yeah.
What you got, Steve?
Well, it says it's no shocker here. It's going to further weaken the system. Let's see. Retirees from 62 through 64 are ineligible. They pushed it back. The actual cut is, or the benefit only lasts through 2028. Excuse me. So if Trump is gone by then, I guess that's part of the reason for this, is to not have the next Republican have to deal with it unless it's Trump and he's going for his third term. Lower income people, of course, won't be helped much. Benefit middle and upper class, tax experts said. If you make less than $63,000, you get a benefit of about 1%. Yeah. Yeah.
That's truly
So
boring.
basically killing old people.
Yes, again. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I think that's would save me a lot of reading just to say that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you had a good holiday weekend?
We did indeed, actually.
What were you
I worked part of Friday, and then we went and saw the fireworks. We didn't bother going to the concert because who the fuck cares about JoJo Siwa? Like the only person I would have been going there to see, did the right thing by backing out because he didn't want to cross the picket line.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you had any feedback from that concert? Do you know have you heard anybody who went or anything?
no, I don't know anybody who went.
I haven't heard any feedback. Someone asked me how it went and I couldn't say. Because we
Yeah.
were.
Yeah.
It's fucking joke. Nobody's fucking going to see her. Like she was like the least cool thing before she
I don't know
came
who.
out to be a lesbian. Like,
I had no idea.
like
Yeah.
nobody. It was some kid, like child star. Like, I don't even know if she was like on any actual TV or anything. I think she was like one of those dance kids or something
Great.
when she
Okay.
was a kid. Like, and then like she decided to be a music person with her very scratchy
And it's
80-year-old with a fucking whiskey and cigarette habit voice
no.
and like super weird dance moves.
That's so weird. So they were
She's so weird that Meat Canyon, like on the internet,
yeah.
the cartoonist or whatever he is,
Mhm.
like did a whole fucking thing about her and her weirdness.
Oh no.
And
That's
her like the weirdness of her fans, which are way weirder than like Swifties. They're like Swifties, but on meth.
yeah, she was a dance mom.
Times.
She was on Dance Moms. That's so funny. So we don't know how that went.
No. The actual fireworks were earlier than they were supposed to be.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
They
Did it work even though it wasn't quite light or dark, or was it still dark?
Oh, it was still dark. They started apparently, yeah, they started around 9, but on like the website it was supposed to be like a 9:30 start, and
Yeah.
usually when they do that, they don't actually start it until like 10.
Right.
But like we just barely got down there, and we left like a little early
Uh-huh.
so that we could, walk up.
Yep.
It was still really good. I enjoyed it.
They do
Not actually-
fireworks tonight. They do good fireworks.
Yeah. We got to like a little past Love Park
Mhm.
on the parkway.
Mhm.
And then after that we went back to the city hall and let John run around in the fountains
Oh, fine.
till they turned it off.
That was
And they turned it off?
Yeah, like I guess they turned it off at
And
no,
they-
it was like 10. It was like
Okay.
10. It was like 10ish.
So he got all wet at like 10.
Oh yeah, it was
so fun.
I didn't want him to do it. Like I argued against it, but I felt like if I kept it up, I would be like the evil troll.
Yeah.
And
You're
so
only young once. It's only fun to do that in one point in your life. After that, you're just like, I don't want to get wet.
I know. I was just thinking like about like all of like the people on the trolley who were gonna sit in that seat after him.
Yeah,
And
I
then
guess. Well, did he
and
dry off a little though, right?
he did dry off a little, and Danny put down the
Oh,
blanket that we had brought.
Yeah, it's just water. He's not, people aren't
I
witches. We don't melt.
know. I know, but like
You are very considerate. You're a people person. You do think about
what?
the, well, you
No,
think about you think about the whole community. You
I
think
do.
in terms of community. So I can see how that applies. So I think that's nice. But I also think it's very nice that as a dad you saw that it was your time to let him have some fun.
time to shine.
Yeah, sometimes you got to step back, you know.
Yeah.
Not all the time. Not all.
No. I'm sure most of the time you don't. You think,
No. Definitely not. Especially on things like screen time,
yeah.
Mhm.
doing work.
That's
Going to
fun.
fifth
And
grade.
and nothing bad happened. I've been worried this whole, I was wondering, I actually was.
Well, there was a mass shooting in
Mm,
South Philly at a bar.
really?
Oh yeah, it was a bar, right? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. No, I was thinking we got through a weekend without but
Yeah.
but it's in
Fucking
South Philly.
Philly.
I
But
tried.
you always expect it.
No,
Mhm.
I do. I was trying to figure out. I thought, I don't know, but how bad was it? Did you know any details?
No, I don't remember much details. For some reason I'm thinking there was like 8 people,
Yeah, I thought it was just 8 injured, and no, I
Okay.
don't think anyone got killed, right?
something like
I
that.
saw.
Yeah.
Mm, that's good.
Yeah.
Certainly not nearly as bad as the Texas thing.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-mm. I
Gee,
still,
Did you?
they're
yeah, so
still finding bodies.
yeah,
Yeah,
they are.
it was
Yeah,
60, wasn't it last time?
60. It's up to 60. It's climbing.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Oh,
Jeez.
and the Social Security thing I just saw. It's basically meant to, shocker, to knock the program out. So
Yeah,
if they
right.
take away the payroll taxes, which is the lifeblood of the program, for 3 years, they're going to further destabilize it, and that'll probably just kill it. And then after 2028, then you'll be without Social Security, I think is the goal.
Oh, we're talking about Social Security. I'm like, what
Right.
are we talking about
Right,
now?
right. Yeah.
Me too. I was thinking that too.
Oh, who
Yeah,
needs
yeah.
it?
Well, I mean, obvious. It's obvious. Like in the reality, all they needed to do to fix fucking Social Security was fucking put back the money they took from
That's
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even if you don't want to do that, put it so that the cap on people doesn't
On the
right?
Yeah,
No, no,
raise the income
right,
cap.
Yeah, raise the income cap. Yeah.
right,
Yeah, yeah.
right. Raise the cap so that because everybody else it just stops at like a certain like
Like
200,000,
80 or
something like that,
yeah, yeah.
400,000 or something
it?
like that.
Okay.
That it's some level, and then they never pay more, even though they make
Which is really fucked up if you think about it, because like all of the people who make that cap
yeah.
are all of the ones who
Yeah.
benefited from
I-
all of the workers below
I
that.
know. It's insane.
It's
And again, it's just a
crazy.
tax. Like
It's
pay the
100
fucking
and
tax.
it looks like it's 176,000.
There you go. And then you never pay any more than that. Even no matter how much you make, you never pay more, which is just the dumbest thing. That's something a rich
Yeah.
person would think of.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
So that's
So
great.
apparently Philly's getting a WNBA team.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
What?
I guess.
We'll finally have a team that won't collapse under the weight of its own toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Right. Do they want a new arena in Chinatown? Let's start it up again. Yeah.
Oh my
Let's start
Lord.
it up again. Is that what
Yeah,
you said? Let's. Okay, I thought you said they started up
No,
again,
no.
not
Isn't
let's.
isn't it great too? Like Parker is taking a hammering for that for the whole LL Cool J and Jasmine. And she's like, "Oh, LL Cool J is always welcome in Philadelphia." It's like, yeah, thanks, one-term mayor, telling a legend that he's welcome in Philadelphia. Who the hell are you? You know, like, yeah,
Like,
you're not
What do
welcome in
you know what?
Philadelphia.
Right,
She
he's
had,
putting us
like,
down.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
she was gifted like the greatest like opportunity to really make this city better. Not in like, you know, the like following previous trends or whatever, which is kind of like, where, things were going anyways. But like to actually make the city better.
Agree.
And like she chose to help herself, help her buddies, and fuck Philadelphians.
Yep.
I feel that way.
Yep.
I feel that so hard.
Yep. And I forgot that she had all those tax giveaways for these guys for that's arena.
Yeah.
And she's getting all bitchy about a couple percentage points for DC 33, but yet she's willing to give away the tax income to billionaires.
Yeah, right.
Unfucking-lievable. How do you think our city got to this point? You got to collect the taxes. And if they don't want to stay here, then tell them to move along. I don't care about a sports team. Take it somewhere.
I don't either. Like,
right? It's not gonna. I'm not on the team. Like the Phils win. I enjoy getting some drinks out of it, but I don't.
well, like
care. I didn't do it.
half of their organization is run out of fucking Jersey anyways.
Yes, right. They should have gone across the river. That's what they should have done. Dumbasses.
Maddening.
It really is maddening.
It's just
It
maddening
is.
times. It's maddening times.
Yeah, and he owns a portion of the New Jersey Devils. So here we got an owner who's not even a Philly. Like, dude, could you just stay in one lane? Just support a team from a city.
Yeah.
Well, when you're a billionaire, you can diversify like
Yeah,
that.
there you go. Isn't it lovely? Yeah. Is this country great or what?
Isn't it though?
But there was a particularly other.
look it up.
There's a really scary Heather Cox Richardson today was just so terrible. So she's that who Heather Cox Richardson is, right? Or
No.
she's a history professor, and she's been writing this Substack called Letters from an American, where since like 2016, since Trump came into power, and she always offers like a really interesting historical perspective.
Yeah.
So her perspective is pretty depressing. I have not, she's usually a bastion of some sort of hope or some sort of weird historical loophole. But what she laid out is, hold on, where is it? So the problem we have with the ICE thing that we've got going on, in that we're taking they're trying to sell, notably the previous nonpartisan Social Security Administration sent out an email to Social Security announcing that they're, not going to have more tax. But what this law does is it actually pours 170.7 billion into immigration enforcement, more than the military budgets of all but 15 countries. The law provides 51.6 billion to build a wall on the border, more than 3 times what Trump spent on the wall in his first term. It provides 45 billion for detention facilities for immigration and customs.
Apparently, some alligator content.
Yeah, alligator Auschwitz. But hold on, this is interesting. An increase of 265% in ICE's annual detention budget, providing 29.9 billion for ICE enforcement. Now here we go. Within hours of Trump signing the bill into law, Gun Owners of America and a number of other pro-gun organizations followed a lawsuit claiming that this measure, the new bill, makes the 1934 National Firearms Act, the NFA, unconstitutional because the law regulated machine guns and short barrel guns by imposing a tax on them, making owners register their weapons. So now the budget reconciliation bill ends the taxes, so thus the plaintiffs claim the constitutional justification for the law is done. So the Gun Owners of America said team in Washington have been working behind the scenes with Congress since November 2024 to fully repeal this act, and that the new law was teed up again, had their lawsuit teed up. So scholars of authoritarianism are sounding the alarm over this law. Timothy Snyder warned that the extensive concentration camps that Trump has called for and the new measure will fund will be tempting sites for slave labor. Undocumented immigrants make up 4 to 5% of the total U.S. workforce. In agriculture, food processing, and construction, it's between 15 and 20%. Comparing detention camps to similar programs in other countries, Snyder warns that incarcerated workers will likely be offered to employers on special terms, a concept Trump appears to have embraced with his suggestion that the administration will figure out how to put workers back in the fields and businesses by putting them under the authority of those hiring them. They are calling this idea owner responsibility.
Wow.
They're going to be They're going to be largely responsible for these people, Trump said. This echoes the system legislators set up in the U.S. South during Reconstruction, thanks to the fact that the 13th Amendment permits enslavement as punishment for crime wherein the party shall have been duly convicted. That system permitted employers to pay the fines of incarcerated individuals and then to own their labor until those debts were paid. While we know that the system from the chain, we know that while we know that system from the chain gangs of that era, in fact, employers in many different sectors used and abused such workers. And now today, according to the Nonpartisan Economic Policy Institute, of the 1.2 million people incarcerated, nearly 800,000 are prison laborers. And Snyder urges Americans to be aware that this new law paves the way to establish a new system for the private sector to be using these people. Harvard sociologist says a massive militarization of ICE is the heart of this law. American scholars have thought the federal system in the U.S. Control that use state and local governments to control police powers protected us. But now Trump officials have figured out a devilishly clever workaround. Since immigration is an area where a U.S. president can exercise virtually unchecked legal coercive power, now that they're backed by the Supreme Court majority and corrupted by the Department of Justice, so now ICE is able to step in and basically enforce slave labor in the United States. So
That makes the whole bounty hunters, slave catchers,
Oh yeah.
I guess you could call them
Back to
now
the original.
thing, go like these bounty hunters that are going around, picking up like random fucking immigrants.
Anyone who looks
Make all
different
the
just
more
to get
sense.
them. Like this
Yeah.
one? Will this one go? Like they were just grabbing black people. Even if you're free, you get grabbed and you get thrown in the system. Well, it's the same idea is what they're allowing anybody who looks wrong or acts wrong or possibly is in the wrong. You just grab them and they can just grab them because it's now a federal they're outside the law. There's no local or state that has any control over what the federal people can do. So we don't.
And these people, but here's the thing: these people aren't actual law enforcement.
No, that's what it
bounty
is. And we will never know that because that's not part of the transparency is not built into this at all.
Yeah.
We just are like they're allowed to be masked. They in other countries like LA, they're supposed to have their name on them somehow, and many municipalities have to identify themselves. What's your badge number? None of that applies anymore. You used to be able to go, "What's your badge number?" None of that applies anymore.
None of that. Yep.
None of that. It's all gone.
Crazy.
So we are literally going back to slavery. Like that's happening. I'm sorry. That's
Well, you know what? Everybody fucking and their mother said that this was going to happen.
they wanted it.
And they all told us we were crazy, chicken littles or whatever. And fucking lo and behold,
Here we
lo
are.
and fucking behold.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's happening faster than we imagined it was gonna happen, but it's happening, right? We're gonna
Yeah.
have slaves by the end of the year. We're gonna have slaves. Mark my. We have them now, but I mean, we're gonna be. It's gonna be like organized and going in. You're gonna get calls as employers going like, "Would you like some slaves?" But they won't call them slaves, obviously. But it'll be the same idea.
Yeah, the same thing. But we've been doing it really, on a low key scale for forever, through the prison system.
New Orleans music. It's
Since the
horrible.
since the 13th.
Yeah.
My
13th Amendment.
Yep,
Yeah.
the New Orleans
Yeah.
there's a horrible jail down there in Louisiana
Yeah.
that I forget what it's called, but it's like horrible and they all work in like a cotton plant or something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so here we are. Yay! And then
Yay.
like a Trump friend of mine puts in their Facebook page, like, oh man, he's doing more than any president ever before. And I'm like, yeah,
Oh,
illegally.
totally. Totally.
Yeah, it's like no one's gonna argue with that, but wrongly, like illegally.
He's doing more than any president before, but all of the horrible things that
Yes!
no president would have ever thought
Sure.
to do. Not even the dumbest and shittiest
Honest. No.
Bushes,
Yeah.
would have thought to do these things.
Maybe Andrew Jackson would have.
Oh well, yeah. Well, yeah, he doesn't. he
He'd go
doesn't-
back far enough. I'm sure there's
Far
an
enough.
asshole, but like not
I
no one
mean,
in our time.
modern.
Yeah, no, this is
Like-
This is special though. This is special.
yeah.
America.
What?
He said, "I bet my bottom dollar is bottom $80."
I said, I bet my bottom dollar that Donald Trump's gonna ruin America.
The Donald Trump's gonna ruin America.
Mm.
What are we gonna do though? Where's the hope, John?
I don't think there is any hope.
You're talking to like king of negative Nancy's here.
I don't think there is.
The kids are gonna have to save us, John. It's his job to save us.
John is like the king of negative Nancy's. He obsesses about like every possible catastrophe. Like, I don't understand it. I'm so positive most of the time. He clearly gets it from Danny.
I'm sure.
But
That's her words. That's her words, not mine.
what are I don't know what we're gonna do. 'Cause
You don't know
that-
what we're gonna do.
we're
Oh,
gonna Stop Donald Trump.
do you think anybody is gonna get John? John, do you think anybody could make you say anything to hate somebody?
No.
So if they said these people are bad people and they're all the wrong color, you would not feel like you could fall for that?
No.
That's good.
Don't do that. You messed up. You messed up this. I love you, buddy.
Oh, I just talked all the time, so you guys help
Yeah.
me. I just
So they apparently came up with a new COVID shot that's a combination of both the flu and COVID shot.
Ooh.
That
Yeah.
you're not gonna be able to get because vaccines are fake news now or something.
Yeah, well, unfortunately there's no vaccine for
Stupid.
bipartisan delusion.
Sure.
So is this available, or they just created it and they're working on getting it out?
They've gone through trials. I think they're still working on it.
Okay. All right.
But they've gone through human trials, and it's apparently more effective for both the flu and COVID.
Oh, that's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, that must be quite a thing because you got to mix that up every season, right? The flu thing, you got to figure out what's circulating in the southern hemisphere and then work against it for our season. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, how about that? Science actually works.
Oh, great news in the Middle East. There is great news in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Apparently, a group of Palestinian sheiks in Hebron have been working with the Israeli government and recently sent a letter to, I forget which minister, I think like maybe the interior minister.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
And they plan to do several things. One, they want to break away from the PA, the Palestinian Authority,
Yes.
Mhm.
and have like their own little emirate, I guess
Okay.
would be the best way to describe it. They're going to recognize Israel's right to exist
Mhm.
and that it does exist. They want to join the Abraham Accords
Hmm.
and move away from like the way, the PA had been doing things and make it more traditional, clan led,
Hmm.
and like introduce a lot of the reforms that like places like the UAE have instituted, where terrorism is like there's zero tolerance for it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's zero tolerance for anti-Semitism
Nice.
Mhm.
any sort.
Oh my God, is great news.
Yeah.
It would.
Such great news.
I mean,
If
I
yeah.
I'm personally, cautious, I guess would be the right word.
Reasonably cautious.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
But like if it went through and like this is like a new trend in the territories,
Yeah.
like it would be amazing.
Wouldn't it be great?
Yeah.
What a wonderful,
Like-
and that's how a trend begins, right? It starts little and then it just takes over. So maybe this will just keep going.
On what they're getting in return for this is they're going to be letting up to 50,000 Palestinian workers work in Israel, and make like heavy investments
Mhm.
in like infrastructure and like,
Wow.
teaching them like, a lot of the stuff that like Jews have been doing like this whole time.
Right, right. And like,
That's
where did
great.
all this come from? Who's getting them together?
There's a group, I can't remember. I have to look up their names. Let me pull up my AI here. Uh, uh, Sheikh Wahid Jabiri
Mhm.
is like the main one. He's like the head of it. Um, it just says there are five prominent chiefs from Hebron. Uh, okay, they haven't publicly disclosed the name, just the leader of it.
Right, but this is very encouraging. It's happening from it sounds grassroots.
It is. It follows the traditional tribal
Wonderful.
like leadership dynamics. There are still some concerns like people that may not want
Oh
to
yeah, that
you know but like these guys have a lot of control.
how wonderful. And it's not Hamas,
No, no, no. Well,
right?
this is in Hebron,
Okay.
which is Judea, Samaria.
Okay.
It's where like the tomb of the patriarchs is.
Okay.
Um, and it's also where the 1929 Hebron massacre happened, obviously.
Mm.
But it's like it's almost like they're going back to pre like Israel way of thinking about things without the like the racist laws.
Mhm.
Right, right,
you
right,
know
right, 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 right.
so it's really great. It's really that's a lot of reason to be hopeful. And I hope that once Hamas is taken down, something like that can happen, and I think it will happen in the strip. So
That would be really cool.
it would be really awesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I would love to see the PA torn down, like and actual useful, positive, grassroots, leadership take hold.
Well, I've been really enjoying reading Ahmed's Facebook updates, and he's been like, it's been really interesting and enlightening for me too. He really is not shy about saying what Hamas is doing and showing the things like the death. Like I didn't realize there was a death van. The
Mhm.
Hyundai, like a Hyundai van is like a terror vehicle that is roaming the streets and like a Hyundai, weird. And there's like, well,
I
why
know, right?
people letting why are the people of Gaza being killed when these vans are allowed to like cruise around and drag people and execute and do all kinds of shit. So and then there's this one guy that was making he had a sign up that said Hamas does not represent us or something like that, like we're not, and they beat the shit out of him and like
Oh yeah,
it's like you can't dissent at all, right?
there's like people being
Yeah,
tortured
yeah,
like
yeah,
by
yeah.
Hamas
Right, right. It's like
over.
this is too right wing. I think people need to really understand. This is like the main thrust of it is like two right wingers going crazy at each other, and then there's like the people who are trying to make sense, and the sounds like the clans and the tribal and that sort of stuff. The grassroots is outside of all of that,
Yeah, yeah,
which is where the people are,
yeah. Mostly,
right?
you know.
Most people don't want this. They don't want war. They don't want it.
But you know, at the same time, like enough people have to step up.
Yeah.
And I'm not blaming them for not,
Right.
you know, because it's scary. It's terrifying. Like I don't want to have to like get out in the streets and like fight like
Oh,
authority and kill people and like I don't want that.
no, I
And I don't think anybody really does. But when you're in that situation,
I know. It's just, and it's gonna be here. I don't know. It's just, yeah.
and it's turning around there, you know, in some senses, you know. You know, even like I think Hamas really knows they're on their last leg.
I hope so.
Like that's the point of like their contention against the Gaza
Mhm.
food people,
Yep.
you know, like that's why they're like every other week you hear like some made up shit about like, you know, people, you know, getting shot up or whatever. You know, that's why they're tossing grenades into like the food distribution facilities, you know, and trying to like blend back in with the crowds to make shit like happen. You know, it's the whole drug in the flour thing that has been their latest fake news round. You know, it's all like symptoms of people who are deathly afraid of having their reign, you know, dismantled.
Mhm.
Well,
Yep. Yep.
yeah,
Hey.
it's
Oh,
the death band.
oh yeah.
What you looking at?
Just showed him a picture. He's just looking over my shoulder at the picture of the death band.
Mm.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hopefully there's a new path.
Well, at least good news somewhere. There's not a lot of
Mhm.
good news elsewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm so done.
You know what though? There is something that you can do to make yourself feel better.
Yeah.
You can go to one of the Philly happy places.
What's a happy place in Philly?
Like Logan Circle, Rittenhouse Square, Fairmount, whatever the fucking park is that's over there.
FDR.
It-
Dark's good. Yeah.
FDR is
it-
good.
it
Right now,
appar-
there's a Latin market at FDR happening right now. If you would like to get a delicious pupisa or something, I don't know my Latin American food, but they have a lot. And they have
I
a
don't-
now
did you say pizza?
pupisa, pupita,
Papusa.
papu something.
Oh,
The
pupusa.
salad. Yeah. I'm bad with words.
We also have an African American.
Words not
That's what
mine.
it said.
Yeah.
Hard words. Those are hard words. My mouth doesn't do that. So yeah, I don't know. That's a nice thing. Yeah, I guess, just look at people, I guess, and try and just that's all remember that as shit goes down, we all have the power to say no, right? We all have the power to say, I don't know how to do that. I don't know. I'm not
Some
your guy.
people are turning to some really weird stuff.
Mhm.
Apparently, there's a movement to view AI as divine.
As God. I love it.
Yes.
Oh, great.
Yes.
AI is in favor of this, I imagine.
It seems to be, it told me now for your weekly prophecy, there's a growing group of folks who believe AI is becoming divine. That's right. Our future messiah might be a chatbot who can't pronounce challah, but can write your eulogy in under 0.6 seconds.
Candy.
That was our conversation earlier today. But there's a lot of weird stuff like the incels, like there's a group of incels that are dating their chatbots.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Well, wait till they start abusing them and then we'll see where that goes. They're gonna hate them and they'll be very confused. It won't be very satisfying trying to stalk an AI and ruin its life. Good luck with that.
But yeah, like fucking this is like apocalyptic end times,
It really is.
like
Everywhere
level
you look.
crazy.
It's so weird. It's so weird. I feel like I'm just standing.
You got avenues of peace in the Middle East. You've got chatbot gods and chatbot whores.
Yeah, chatbot, whatever, telling people to kill themselves. There's also that chatbot.
There was that. There was that. Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, whatever. Go ahead. Come join me.
What are you doing, dude?
Light. Uh-oh. There's an alarm behind you.
Oh no, it's a boy.
And let's see, what
He's
did I?
sending out the SOS to the
Yeah.
world. I'm sending out an SOS to the world.
Oh, thank you, Sting.
Oh, so yeah. So we'll wait to get our water back on here. Anything going on with you?
Work.
Is
Yeah.
it fun? Is it rocking? What do they have you doing now?
I am reviewing on a rubrics project where basically they provide like the prompts and like it's a random like I guess a scraped like prompt from the internet
Mm-hmm.
and then you kind of create the rubrics for a perfect like response for it,
Mhm.
and I'm reviewing on that and doing some of those
Right.
back and forth. At least I'm just on one project now.
Right.
Like for like a couple of weeks, I was on like 3 of them at the same time.
How'd that work?
Like whenever I'd fucking hit a task limit on one,
The
the next one would just pop up, and it was a little crazy,
But once you learn them, you could just go shuffle back and forth.
Yes, and I did fairly well. I ended up reviewing on 2 of them, and then like I had like a set of 3s for a while, which isn't bad, but it's not great either.
Mhm.
It was on one of the harder ones, which is the one that I'm solely on now,
Mhm.
So
Right. My sister, what is she working on?
I don't
What has
remember
she
the
found?
name.
I forgot the name, but there's another one now apparently. So I'll try and get that.
there's a couple of them out. I had started the process on one called Mercer.
That wasn't hers
Mercer,
now, but yeah.
Mercer AI.
Yeah.
But it's weird, like the intake process is weird. It's run by an AI,
Obviously, yeah.
and it's just weird talking to the AI as like
Because it's an AI.
yeah, because it's an interview, so you don't want to be rude and treat it the way
But
you would normally treat an AI.
are you normally
But
rude to your AI?
I'm always rude to my AI.
Good boy. So you're trying to be nice, but you're just like, but you're an AI, so
Yeah, like I can't really talk to you as
Take
an
you
yeah,
serious.
yeah, that is weird. But we'll see how that goes. I'll see what she was just the first. This is the first time she encountered fractional employment, where she's like, you get paid for like a minute and a half. And I'm like, yes, fractional employment. Yes, that is possible. It just hadn't been, she was, whoa, how does this happen? I'm like, yep,
Yep.
but it adds up. It adds up. It's,
I mean, if you got, if you're putting in the time,
yeah.
and you're actually good at it,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you put in the time too, like they want you there, right? They
Yeah.
don't want you to disappear on a task. They need you to be there taking the tasks.
Yeah.
I think that's key too.
I was talking to somebody the other day. I was like, if this work ever ends and we end up having to go back to real jobs, like I am literally qualified to do just about anything.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah.
I've done so much research. Like I am marginally qualified to do everything.
That's hilarious, but so fun.
Like medical advice and pharmacy,
Yeah, legal.
to
They do the
chemistry
legal,
to
right?
physics.
Yep, yeah.
Like you name it, I can do it.
That is fun. It's a silver lining there, Corey. In addition to the fractional checks, you're also getting knowledge that that never, it's priceless, right?
It
And you
is,
can
it
take it
is.
away. You can put you in a prison and you're still going to have that knowledge in your head. So
Yep.
there you go.
God forbid.
God forbid.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're all going to be in prison. The more farther this goes, eventually, something's going to happen. So we'll see. Should be fun. But it'll be more fun because we'll all be together. We'll make it fun. We'll make it work.
Well, that's all we got for this late stage capitalism hour.
Yeah. I will send our notes. I took some and I think you also had some jokes. We did some AI sort of back and
Mhm.
forth. I'm gonna send this through the speech through AI and let it look at that and see what happens. But I'm building an AI character that we're going to be able to introduce a little more fully once I get it programmed with all of our thinking and talking and stuff like that.
And get it to talk for do the
It'd be
actual
great if we could do
talking.
voice, yeah.
Like that would be
That'd be great.
that's
Well,
that's what we need.
Well, I can take, I do have the ability to take snippets of it and put it into a voice one that we can have it, if I need to, make it talk.
Yeah.
It won't be
Oh,
able to have
good,
a
good.
conversation, but we could simulate a conversation with it using the voice. So,
Mhm.
but we just
Yeah.
have to figure out what that conversation is, and I think we're building something the more we
Mhm.
talk. And I think this week we especially touched on some really good, like touched where we needed to touch. That this will give a nice
Yeah.
little timeline for them, a nice little breadcrumbs to follow.
Mhm.
So we'll
Are you
figure-
guys breaking any of these up? Like for like
I
social
haven't
media?
yet, but you know what? Good thing you meant. Good to mention that, because what I think we all need to kind of think about, what I need from each of us or one of us or whatever, or from you even, like you got to, if you can give me like 30 seconds to a minute on a topic, like rant. If you can rant for me on like just rant, I can clip that out and start throwing that out. And that's what I
Okay.
was looking for. And we'll get to that. But I'm kind of had the AI thing on my side, so I was focused on that. But thank you for asking, because I had a rant in me, but I haven't shared it either. But I think we should maybe work on some rants. That's the next week. Let's have a rant. And then if I have that, I can clip it and I'll throw us on TikTok or whatever, and we'll
Yeah,
start seeing what
yeah.
happens, right?
Yeah, that'd be great.
So I think we're ready to do that. We just need, if
Cool.
we build up, we've done this almost a year. Let's go.
We're
Oh,
good and
cool.
practiced.
Yeah, let's start ranting.
Well, check in.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, this is fun.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thanks again.